The AllStar app, the #1 app in the business. UFC, Bellator, One Championship, PFL, and more. Get the app right now. Link in description.
Good to speak to you again.
Of course, man. It's a trip because we spoke before your first fight this season, and you told me this, man. You told me that this is my season to lose, and now we're heading into the finals. It's like you pretty much predicted all of this, man. Has it played out the way that you expected?
I mean, no, I wanted to just absolutely run through everyone, and there's been some tough matchups this year. So no, not fully how I wanted it to go, but we're here now, and that's all that matters. And we are literally 2 weeks today away from Bubba Jenkins and the $1 million world title.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. You've been in Phuket for a while now, preparing for the fight. How was it dealing with the rain and the floods, man? It's been pretty crazy out there.
Yeah, that shit got real crazy for like a week, but that's all it was. After that, it was fine.
Nothing too crazy with like at your house or where you're staying or anything like that. Nothing that altered your training.
I didn't miss 1 second of any day in the last 2 months for this camp. I didn't miss a session. I'm not even lying.
That's a long camp, man. Usually, people would think that you might run into overtraining. How have you kind of managed all that?
No, I'm definitely overtraining, 100%. I've always overtrained. That's just like, I don't hold the reins back. I wake up in the morning, I train, I go to bed at night, I train. That's exactly what I do all day, every day. And I have done since I was 16 years old. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm in the position that I'm in.
No doubt, man. Let's talk about a couple of spots that you've been training at. I see that you've been at Bang Tao, Tiger Muay Thai, and Phuket Grappling Academy as well. Let's start with Bang Tao. What are you working on over there?
George Hickman and Woody, both great minds for the game. Woody's been a phenomenal asset to the camp. He's really got me strong. I knew with Bubba Jenkins I would need to up my strength a bit. So we worked on that consistently. Probably did about 17 sessions with Woody. And wow, it's really made me a lot stronger. George has got a great mind for MMA, so that was Bang Tao. Tiger's just full of absolute killers. I was sparring Hyon and Arman Harukian and Rafa Fiziev. All these are all my boys that I've trained with for years. So just been surrounded by unbelievable people. And then Phuket Grappling Academy, my boy Ben Royal. I've known Ben over 10 years. He's from Manchester. He runs a gym out here for grappling. The best level of grappling in Phuket, and that's been phenomenal too.
Yeah, it seems like you've been getting a really good mix of different styles and bodies. You know what I mean? Like you just mentioned a bunch of names. They don't all have one particular style. So how has it been just getting the mixture of people in this camp?
Yeah, I mean, I always do it like that. Once you land that Tiger at 4:30 on a sparring day, you'll get every look you need. You'll find southpaws, you'll find boxers, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu guys. So whatever guy you're fighting, you will find a style to fit it in Thailand. And I was lucky enough in this camp to find 2 guys in particular that really helped me. Really good guys, and they're both southpaw wrestlers, and they turn up to every session. And yeah, we're here now. We're here. We're 2 weeks out, and I'm just happy to be at this point again.
What about leveling up your boxing, your hands with John Boy, man? The guy, he's a mastermind.
Oh God, John Boy has been so instrumental in this camp. He's probably been the most influential person because he's been at most of my sessions. He's really been behind me. He's been my rock over here. And massive shout out to John Boy Boxing because, he's Irish. I've got Irish heritage. So there's a little bond there with the nations. And that guy's got so much love for all his fighters and all the athletes. And his energies is infectious. And he really cares about his fighters. And he's a great fella. And I owe a lot to John Boy.
Yeah, I've seen that myself with my own eyes. John Boy is so dedicated to his fighters, man. Not many coaches out there that are that much dedication, right? Showing up to your sessions that they're not even coaching.
Yeah, exactly. No. Listen, I'm glad you brought that up. Like, he shows up to the wrestling, he shows up to the conditioning. Like, he bases his life. Like, he even was doing the same meal preps as Anatoly. He was on little shitty meals because Anatoly had to cut his diet down to make like heavyweight. He started doing it, and like, come on, that's just some next level of dedication to his coaches. And he deserves all the success in the world, and that's why he's got so many champions.
What about Anatoly? You've been wrestling with him? You've been boxing with him, or any sessions?
A bit of a weight differential there, but yeah, he's been around. He's a great guy. I like his energy. He's another guy, great energy.
For sure. And you know, I seen you've been doing the camp side by side with Darren Till. How's it been having him next to you? He's seems like he's found another spark as well.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, like, listen, we're from the north of England. We're the same people, and like, just like being coming home of an evening, and we're all like shooting the shit, as you call it, like all having a laugh, watching the telly, like having a buzz. I think that stuff's really important, and it's stuff that I've missed out here before. Sometimes I've been out here for camps on my own, and once the doors close at night, you're on your own, sort of thing. Like, so it's been really good to switch off at the night times and have a laugh with the boys.
Going back to what you just said about being alone and being alone with your thoughts, has that kind of been, you know, I don't know, it could kind of trip you out, right? If you're thinking too much about fighting all the time.
Yeah, I came here in January. I did 2 months, January, February, for my first fight in the PFL against Kudo, and it was very different to what it is now. Like, nobody was here. I just train, eat, sleep, train, go home. But it's been very important to have good people around me on the outside of the gym, because it gets really, really tedious and boring on your own. It really does, in a one-bed apartment. Just sat there waiting for the next session. It drives you mad. But this time's been very different. All the boys are here. And the energy's just been very different for this camp.
Now let's talk about your opponent, man, Bubba Jenkins. You guys seem to be really cool with each other, but there is an extreme competitiveness that I see between you guys, especially during that media day when you guys were both talking. What is your breakdown of his skills and what he has shown so far this year in his fights?
Yeah, Bubba Jenkins has looked very good this season. He's made improvements in his stand-up, and he's fought some decent competition and looked good. And, you know, it's like, they say it's the typical box of a wrestler versus striker, but it's a lot more than that, because I can wrestle and he can strike.
Mhm.
So we're not both one-dimensional. We're both heavily experienced MMA fighters who can fight in every area. I think the difference in this fight is going to be my conditioning and my hunger, how much I want this. Nobody will take this away from me. And I genuinely believe that will be the difference on the night.
Yeah, I asked Bubba if cardio was, you know, maybe one of your best weapons. Do you feel like it's one of your best weapons that's going to be valuable in this fight?
This is my best weapon here. When it lands on the chin, it's over. There's the weapon, mate. So just
All
send
right.
him a picture of that, screenshot that, and send it him.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. You know, your last fight, man, with Chris Wade, another guy, a wrestler that can strike.
Yeah.
You know, you took him out. Actually, surprised a lot of people how well you did against him. You probably didn't surprise yourself. You know, what was the best takeaways from that fight that is going to help you in this championship fight?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it was a tough fight. I mean, Chris Wade is a well-known guy, a veteran. Everyone thought he was going to win it this season. They really did. They thought with Mov lead out, Chris Wade's the guy, and Chris Wade has really pissed me off for years. I really didn't like him. Really didn't like his energy. None of that was fake in the back. Like, we really didn't like each other. And if you think for 1 second you're coming into my back garden and beating me up, and he's telling me he's going to hold me down and do this, that, and the other, it's not happening. Like, I'm a tenacious motherfucker, like, and I've really put it to him in that fight. And then I started talking to him. I thought he was going to talk to me in the fight. What's going on? He started to fold as the rounds were going on. And that's exactly what Bubba's going to do. Sorry, this is exactly how the fight's going to go with Bubba too. Once I disengage a few wrestling exchanges, what's he going to do? He can't box with me. So then what? Like, just start lumping your money on, because Bubba Jenkins is getting taken out. It's as simple as that.
You know, you go in there, you defeat Bubba, you win the title, you become a millionaire. Do you feel like that puts you in the same conversation as the Volkanovskis, the Patricio Pitbulls, the Max Holloways of the world?
PFL's full of sharks. Shane Burgos, Marlon Moraes, myself, Movlid Habalayev, like, you know, Shaman Moraes, Tyler Diamond. Like, there's so many good fighters in this organization. And to be able to fight 4 times in 6 months, like, you're a different animal. Having a PFL belt, you're a real animal, because the shit you have to go through to get to this belt is on a whole nother level. I'm not just saying that, it really is. So this PFL belt has got to be respected. And I believe that, you know, as the company grows, give it 5 to 10 years, this will be, you know, it already is the second best in my eyes, but it'll be really up there. And not because of it's the name PFL, just because of how hard it is to fight 4 times in 6 months.
Yeah.
And the mental fortitude and the injuries and everything that goes with being able to do that. Like you're a different animal. That's why I respect guys like Lance Palmer and Nathan Schultz, like the guys that have won it twice in a row, Kayla Harrison. Like these are different type of people. They really are, because this is my second season now. This season is 100% time better than last season, because by the final last year or the semis, I just wanted to go home. I didn't give a fuck what happened in the fight. But now I'm motivated, I'm energized. I realized, I learned a lot from my first time running at it. And this season, like Bubba Jenkins did too, like you can tell he's a different fighter this year. He must have learned how to take his foot off the pedal when it's time and deal with the injuries and deal with all the shit that goes with it. So we both look like different fighters this year. We're both looking like world beaters, and everybody's in for a treat on the 25th.
Definitely. And going back to what you said about this season, this fighting 4 times in 6 months, Kayla Harrison was talking about that, saying that this is her last season. She can't do it anymore. It's just mentally and physically, she can't go through it. You know what I mean? It's just too much. And if she's saying that, it's just like, you got to put another level of respect, but you got to go back to like, this promotion's not even that old, man. Like you said, give it 5 to 10 more years. It's going to be pretty insane, the amount of talent that's going to be in there, right?
Listen, like when I watch Kayla's interviews and she talks about how hard it is, I just resonate with her so much, because like, imagine like as soon as you finish one fight, you're immediately doing a stare down like an hour later for another fight. There's no switch off. And then you cut in 20, 30 pounds every 6 weeks. Then you get injuries in one fight and take it into another. And it's just like, it's just such a slog, but it's so worth it, because at the end of the day, we're prize fighters and it's 4 checks in 6 months. Like guys in the UFC and Bellator they would beg for stuff like that, like to be able to be so active, especially in the later years of my career, 32 now. I'm just happy to be able to be out there, and fucking hell, Brendan's fighting again and again and again and again. And I love it. I love competition. I always begged for competition. And since I've joined PFL, I think this is my 8th fight in 2 years. Like, it's insane. Plus I had a boxing match in between the seasons, and I made weight for the final and didn't make it. So we're talking like 9 or 10 competitions in 2 years. And I'm over the moon about that. That's exactly what I want. This is exactly where I want to be, and this is the way I want to fight.
It seems like a lot of fighters that say that they want that, but when they get it, doesn't seem like they want it anymore, right?
Listen, they all want the smoke. Everybody wants to throw down until it's time to throw down every 6 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot. But when the career's over, when I'm older and I look back, I go, fucking hell, I actually went through that. And, it's made me so strong. Honestly, it's like the little niggles and all the stuff that goes with the camps and that. And I just think, yeah, I'm bulletproof now. I can go through anything. Like, if I joined another organization and they started saying you've got 4 months to prepare for a fight, I don't even know what I'd do. That's like a gift now. So yeah, I mean, PFL, big them up. I love it.
Yeah. Respect to the promotion, all the fighters in there. And it seems like all the big names that they signed, champions from other organizations, they come in here and there must be a reason why they're crumbling. You know what I mean? I'm just stating facts. None of them have won a season. None of them.
Yeah, I mean, like coming from, I was speaking to Rory McDonald at the London Media Day, and I was asking him about it, and he was like, bro, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. We're talking about a guy that went to war with Robbie Lawler. Like, that was the craziest fight of all time, a guy that fought Douglas Lima, and he said PFL's the hardest thing that he's ever done. And I resonate with him, all these people. Listen, we're all feeling it. Bubba Jenkins is feeling it right now. Like, we're all feeling the grind, but this is what's going to, define me as a champion now, because beating Chris Wade in the semi-final, then I beat Kudo, who was a semi-finalist, and then I'm about to beat Bubba Jenkins, and my goal was to beat the best guys that were in the division this year, and I beat 2 semi-finalists, and I'm about to beat the finalist, and I can't ask for any more, I really can't.
November 25th, man. PFL Championships, New York City, Madison Square Garden. Go download the AllStar app in the description. Brendan, man, appreciate the time. All the best, man, in the fight.
Thank you, brother.